premium stock car, never losing. Pit crew wizards, quick as wizards, slick precision. Seconds matter, clock ticking, tight decisions. Drafting close, slingshot ghost, high speed ballet. Sipping victory, toast to champ, champagne spray. Fast lanes, checkered flags, racing through the turns. Pedal to the metal, feel the rubber burn. Crowd roars, engine soar, high stakes, high gear. Champions breathe and destiny's near. Grid start, hearts pound seconds before eruption. Adrenaline and steel, the perfect conjunction. Lap after lap, sweat drips, thighs are fogging. Fame and glory wait for no one's dogging. Tunnel vision, apex hunting, blind to the herd. Opponents tailgating, pace firing absurd. Finally tuned monster, horsepower excel. Steering wheels grip like the gates to hell. Fast lanes, checkered flags, racing through the turns. Pedal to the metal, feel the rubber burn. Crowd roars, engine soar, high stakes, high gear. Champions breathe and destiny's near.
Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in as we get ready to rock and roll here this evening from the beautiful Daytona International Speedway. As this is the Congratulations Jordan and Natalie Shootout here with the Premium Stock Car Racing League 6th season. As you see some of these drivers, they got their webcams on. They're giving us a good look at what they're dealing with, what they're working with here today from Daytona International Speedway. As each and every one of those competitors, there's our boy Josh Kreider turning his camera on for us. As these drivers, they'll get ready to rumble, they'll get ready to duke it out here for a lot of action, a lot of laps, and a lot of tight battling here all evening long. So it's going to be a lot of fun to see what these guys can do and if they can try to put themselves up and into the winner's circle here today. They're all looking good, happy to have these guys back in action, back in the rotation, and back out on the racetrack, right where they belong here on Saturday night. Says we'll get them ready to rumble. We'll get ready to keep on duking it out as qualifying underway, as we do see the 84 ride. For some reason, it is very foggy here. Very foggy. I'm not sure if there was a fire or what the heck is going on here, but you do see the 84 ride of Cody Blackmore getting a good lap in there. He jumps up into third. Jonathan Gaston, he's out there in the Gaston iRacing graphics ride, looking for a great second lap. Currently sits in 14th, and we'll see if he can slide up a little farther, see if he can get a little bit better of a lap in. We do see Cody Cash here. Cody Cash, he's there in the 18th position. Doesn't look like he gains any extra speed there on that lap, so we'll have to wait and see if he can get another one in. Gaston does jump up into 11th as Austin Farnham, hopefully I'm saying that right. Austin Farnham in the 119 slides up into the 8th position. Jordan Kreider up inside the top 5 now is Sean Jensick. Sean, good to see Sean out there on the speedway. Sean jumps up into the top spot here, currently quickest in qualifying as Cody Cash still rolling there in that Lowe's Pro ride down through corner number 3 and 4 as we still got a bunch of drivers yet to qualify here. Good group of drivers here this evening, man. There's a lot of fast cats, a lot of great drivers, and this is going to be a lot of fun. The new season getting underway, some new faces and new places. It's going to be a lot of fun to figure out where all these drivers, where their teams are and everything else. As Brian Underwood says, the Canadian fires. Yes, the Canadian fires. We tend to blow that smoke right on down to you guys. That's what you guys get. That's our tariff on you guys, is the Canadian smoke. Hopefully you guys like it. How are you, Mr. Underwood, coming in, showing the love here this evening? How are you, Brian? How are you, Josh, as well? As Jimmy Six Times says, $140 up for grabs tonight in our rolling wiener dash for cash. That's absolutely insane as these drivers get ready to rumble. They get ready to duke it out. We're going to get ready to get a quick word in here from the man, the myth, the legend here this evening. It is Lonnie Kreider. Lonnie coming in with our opening command here today. Let's see if we can jump over there and get a good look at Lonnie Kreider in the opening command. Alrighty, here we go.
Go. Hey, I'm on vacation, but vacation time's over, guys. It's time for us to go racing. I'm going to say much more. I got to get out here. I got to get to the track so I can see you guys race. Start the engine. Let's go racing, guys. We're ready to go.
Alrighty, there you go. You heard it from Lonnie Kreider himself right there. Start those engines and let's get to battle here this evening as the action is just gonna get started to heat up here today, man. This is gonna be a lot of fun. This is a great field of drivers, a lot of great fast cats, and this is gonna be a lot of fun to see who can find their way up and into victory lane and pick up this evening's first checkered flag on the season. Now, with this being our shootout here, or Daytona Shootout, now I don't think there's any points on the line for this race. I did not get clarification for that, but I do believe that there is no points, so it's a lot of just cash on the line from the rolling wieners and all these amazing drivers here this evening, and obviously a little bit of pride, a little bit of boost going into the regular season when we start our regular season next Saturday night. So no points, but there is still a lot of stuff on the line here. It is a dash for cash here tonight. It's a dash for cash next week as we'll head right back to Daytona. So we're going to get a lot of different action. A lot of these drivers are absolutely pumped and ready to go. They are ready to go to battle here in this one. So this is going to be a lot of fun. This is going to be some great racing action, and we can't wait to have all these drivers back out there on the speedway. Let's see if we can maybe pull one of them into the booth right now, get a quick word in with them. Let's see if we can find one of these drivers somewhere near here. Let's see if we can pull in Ryan Haller. Hey Haller, it's Aaron up here in the broadcast booth. Do you get a copy?
Holy shit.
Haller, brother, how are you tonight, man? How do you feel going back out there onto the racetrack? Obviously new car, but the same class, same driver, same everything here. How you feeling coming into this season? Are you there? Okay, I think we lost Ryan Haller. Okay, let's see if we can pull in last season's champion, Brian Underwood, here quick. Hey, Brian, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Did you get a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, Brian, man, I'm going to keep it quick and short here, brother. How you feeling coming into the season, knowing that you're the double champ? Obviously, new car, a lot of fast cats out there. How you feeling going into this sixth season?
Yeah, I mean, looks like we've got a bunch of new guys. Got to feel it out. New car. Feel like it's going to be a nerf, so I think a lot more people are going to have opportunity to win. So it's kind of like my theme, man. Consistency pays off, and just hopefully continue that on this season.
Alrighty, brother. Well, we look forward to seeing it and hopefully seeing that sixth ride back up here in Victory Lane. Good luck out there and have some fun.
Thank you.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for Brian Underwood. Underwood, last season's champion. He's won the back-to-back years here with the Premium Stock Car Racing League. He's hoping to get off to another hot start here this evening, but so isn't the rest of the field, as they will be led down to the green flag from the number 91 of Sean Jensick and Danny White in the 79. Door to door as the official iRacing pace car will make that hard left-hand turn back down pit side, and we will set this field free. 32 drivers for a lot of laps here. 45 laps of racing action in our Dash for Cash here this evening. The Rolling Wieners Dash for Cash underway here in the Jordan and Natalie Shootout here. The congratulations to them. Now, I'm not sure what the congratulations is for. I'm not sure if they had a baby or if they got married, if they got hitched. I don't know what that story is, but huge congratulations to them no matter what. As Danny White and Ryan Rose working their way to the front of the field here, the 79 and 78 ride, getting a good run down the back straightaway here, working that outside lane. They got that 19 ride right on their back bumper as well. That's Melvin Brangbrewer in the 19 ride now. So good to see Melvin in a new paint scheme, new ride here today. Is that Chewy ride trying to work his way up towards the front of the field, as you do see those three drivers that jumped out in front of the 91 of Sean Jensick jump right down in front of him here, take that inside lane. As out in front it's Danny White who leads our first lap here of season 6 with the Premium Stock Car Racing League. So Danny White out in front leading the way here this evening is my boy Martin Long. How are you, Martin? Martin says, hi, good afternoon, man. How are you, Martin? How you doing this evening? As Brian Alessandro says, let's go number 2. Cheering on that number 2 ride of Landon Burbage here this evening as we see a couple drivers around. Look out, our first caution flag of the day is upon us. A bunch of drivers tore up, a couple cars turned around, including that beautiful ride, the Dente number 77 rider Ryan Haller turned around. Some pretty good damage there on that car. We did see the 67 as well, also running into some issues there. Is that a Scott Heinrichs? Hopefully I'm saying that right. Scott Heinrichs also getting tied up there in that one as our first yellow flag of the day is upon us here. Let's take a look and see kind of how this one got started. We saw the 67 a little bent out of shape, but it kind of started up in front of them as it looked like they were more or less just getting into a bit of a log jam here. All these drivers trying to figure out their way to get through here, and it just kind of everything kind of just bounced together, and all these drivers just all of a sudden nowhere to go as they kind of stack up here. They start to move around, and 67 gets into the back end of one car. You see the 24 down through the grass, and then all of a sudden nowhere to go for Gleason, nowhere to go there for the 87 right there as well. Here comes that ride, the Dente machine. Oh, look out, Ryan Haller. Oh, baby. That was definitely right in the Dente right there as that Chili's ride went for a wild one down into the infield, man. There was a bunch of drivers, though, that ended with some pretty solid damage. The 24 ride, new paint scheme here as well for Jordan Hand. That one kind of caught me off guard. I wasn't sure who that 24 ride was. Jordan Hand now in the 24 here. This is the Optic Gaming ride. Shout out to Optic Gaming. We just saw our Optic family there with Z Laner, Oak Boy, and Joe Woe doing a great job at the winners column of the World Series of Warzone, and moving on to the regional finals for the Optic Gaming crew, and hopefully getting their opportunity to go to that World Series of Warzone and look to duke it out, as we do see a lot of other drivers now head down pit side. Probably not for repairs, but probably getting some fuel, maybe already trying to think of that fuel strategy and what they need to do here to try to set themselves up for later in this race. A lot of our front runners end up down pit side, including Danny White, Ryan Rose. You see the 91 rider Sean Jensick, Melvin Brangbrewer, Cody Blackmore, all down pit side there, getting some fuel into their race cars, as that will now put the 119 ride. It's Austin Farnham out in front. Farnham now leads this race with the beautiful Prince's towing number 2 ride. That is Landon Burbage. Burbage in position number 2. They're in that third position. It is the 9 of Benjamin Romano. They're in the third spot on the speedway. Then back in position number 4. Now, I'm probably going to get this last name wrong, and I do apologize here for the University of Wyoming number 95 ride, Matt Skarlak. I don't know how he pronounces that. It's going to drive me probably crazy all night long. If you guys know or have a way to say Matthew's last name, let me know in the chat right now. As Jordan Kreider up and into position number 5 now on the speedway. William Connolly there in the EFF machine there in position number 6. Cody Cash in the Lowe's Pro number 48 ride up into position number 7. That's where we see Danny White, Ryan Rose, Sean Jensick rounding out our top 10 in that Anything EC Sparkle and Shine 91 machine out there on the speedway. Melvin Brangbrewer back there in 11th with Cody Blackmore in the number 84. He strolls there in 12th. Justin Bradley there in position number 13 with Noah Blackwell and Dylan Carrier in the Haas Performance number 88 machine. The Carrier Motorsports ride rolls there in position number 15. Back in the 16th spot, it is the 76 of Farrell Robbins. Behind him in the 21, it is James Efa there in 17th. And then we see Josh Kreider back there in the 18th position. So Josh Kreider in that 18th spot, ready to rock and roll here today, is right behind him in the Sun Drop number 15. That is Aiden Lucas there in the 19th position. Back in 20th in the number 22 ride, that is Scott. It's actually the 67. That is Scott Heinrichs. Hopefully I'm getting that right as well. Ryan Haller just getting around him there in that Chili's number 77 ride. Then we see Matthew Wood in that 19 ride, the AMP machine, ready to rock and roll here this evening. Then we see Grant Applegate back there in the 42. Kyle Shepard there in 24th. Jordan Hand back in 25th with Chris Getz. Brian Underwood, Matthew Morgan in the number 12 ride, scored back in 28th. Nathan Brookover there in the 27, in the 29th position. Jonathan Gaston all the way back in 30th, and then we see Frank Hughes Jr. in the 61 ride back in the 31st position, and then Ben Gleason in that 66 ride unfortunately is a lap down here in this race, and Gleason currently sits in that 32nd position. It's Austin Farnham and Landon Burbage getting ready to see that green flag fly here once again this evening. Each and every one of these drivers hoping to put themselves up and into victory lane as they are trying to figure out this race car. They're trying to figure out the racing strategy here. They're all trying to figure out some of these new drivers. Obviously, we've seen a lot of the same cast in this series for the last few seasons, but now here today we got a lot of new faces here out there on the racetrack, a lot of new drivers, so it's going to take some time for them to kind of learn their driving tendencies, their driving styles, and really what their strengths and weaknesses are, and when you can either push or get pushed by them, or try to make moves around them, and how they're going to be able to handle themselves here, especially when it comes to a super speedway like Daytona. So there's a lot of big question marks for a lot of these drivers out there on the racetrack as they try to find friends, try to help themselves out, try to put themselves into what could be the winning situation. And sure, Haller says, go 77. Ryan Haller moving it up, she says. Haller, luckily enough, able to keep on racing there after that big wreck down the back straightaway, as we do see Justin Farnham able to jump out in front. So Farnham leads this race down the back straightaway. Look at all these amazing drivers. Some absolutely beautiful race cars out there on the racetrack. These things look absolutely hooked up and perfect here today, as you see Jordan Kreider in a good run here on the outside lane. Jordan definitely looking strong here this evening, and Jordan's going to be trying to put himself up and into the winner's circle here today. And for these drivers, this is a good testament, and it's a good kind of practice race on what they need to do when it comes to our feature event next Saturday, our first points race on the season next week. So you can really learn a lot, figure out what these cars are going to do, especially in a big pack like we have here today. So you can kind of get a good base plan on what you need, where you need to be, what you may need to practice on, or try to figure out how to get your car a little bit more at ease, a little bit more under control when it comes to either a big push or a big shove, or just trying to keep yourself out of trouble. See him getting a little bit squirrely here down the back straightaway again. Looks like everyone able to keep themselves in the right direction, though, as the 33 ride of Jordan Kreider. Jordan does jump down to the inside lane here. So Jordan Kreider now out in front, leading this race, trying to keep all these drivers back there at bay. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you guys are just tuning in here this evening and you haven't already, make sure you guys do us a favor, man. Hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button here this evening, as these drivers are back to battle and putting on a show for us here this evening. As Jordan Kreider, Austin Farnham, 1 and 2 on the racetrack, but look out, some contact back behind him. Oh, baby, the 95 ride gets a little bit sideways right there, gets up into the wall. I do believe that will put us back under the caution flag. Let's take a look and see if we can see what happened here. Now we got to figure out who that 95 ride is. I do believe that is Matthew Skurlak. Hopefully I'm getting it right. I'm probably getting it completely wrong here this evening, but let's see if we can get another angle at it and see what happens here to Matthew. They're a little bit 3 wide here, as that is the 79 rider. It's a tough break. The 79 of Danny White just gets down to his inside here and unfortunately kind of hooks him around, spins him sideways, gets this 95 up and into the outside fence. Pretty solid contact there for him, but sideways on the racetrack, and that's what will put us under the yellow flag here this evening, as everyone else able to just drive down to the apron. They're all trying to keep themselves out of trouble and not wanting to get tore up like we saw with that first caution flag, where we saw quite a few drivers get tied up in that wreck. They kind of want to keep themselves a little bit cleaner and greener out there on the speedway, not wanting to get tore up here themselves. Let's see if we can jump back on board here with Matthew, see if we can get another look here at what happens to this 95 right here quickly. Let's see if we can jump into the cockpit here with him, as he's probably not expecting this. He's headed down through 1 and 2, just kind of washes up the track there a little bit with the 25 down to his inside. Then Danny just gets a good run to his inside, hooks him, and nothing he can do. Luckily enough, does get that car straightened out there. Very minimal damage. Could have been a whole lot worse, and could have been a whole lot worse for the rest of the field, but good piece of driving, good heads-up driving by all these cats, able to kind of get onto the binders and keep themselves out of trouble, as that will put us back under the yellow flag early on here this evening. So another early yellow flag, and that will set us up here for another opportunity for drivers to head down pit side. And here we go. We're going to see a bunch of cats head down pit road, looking to get some fuel, maybe some tires. I don't think tires are going to be really a major factor here this evening, but fuel could always play a big hand at a racetrack like Daytona. And with this only being a 45-lap race, you just quite never know when you want to kind of make your way down pit side and when may be the best opportunity to head down pit road and try to put yourself back into the action here this evening. As let's see if we can get one of these other drivers. See if we can pull someone like Sean Jensick, one of the new cats up here that we've seen before, we've talked before too. See if we can find Sean and maybe see if we can pull him up here into the booth real quick here. Let me change this and let's see if we can pull Sean up into the booth very quickly here. Hey, Sean, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. You get a copy?
I got you.
Sean, man, good to see you back out there on the racetrack, brother. How you feeling about this season coming in here? A whole lot of new drivers that I'm sure you're not really used to seeing out there on the speedway. A bit of a new car than what we're used to seeing you in, and here you are looking to battle for a big win here tonight in our shootout.
Yeah, no, just trying something new. New car, new place. I don't really know anyone. Don't know how to drive this car, really. Just out here having some fun and learn how it goes. Not too bad. Started off with the pole. Trying to work myself back and get up there.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, a lot of strategy kind of going into this race already with a couple caution flags. You've been clean and green for the most part. Haven't gotten tied up in any of that action, but trying to figure out a way to maybe gain that extra advantage, maybe pitting a little later or maybe not having to come back down pit side during a longer green flag run here today. Is that the game plan?
Yeah, just trying to stay on top of things here. Just came down pit road there, top it off again. Hopefully stop for a little less fuel than everyone else here at the stage and maybe gain some track position that way. So I didn't lose too much by coming in there. So
absolutely. Well, good luck out there. Have some fun, and hopefully we'll see you back up here in the booth at the end of the night.
all right, thank you.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for Sean Jensick. Is Sean coming in here, giving us a good quick word there on kind of what the strategy is and how he's got to play this one out and see if he can try to put himself up and into victory lane here this evening, as there's still 32 drivers out there on the racetrack, as we did see the number 66 of Ben Gleason. Gleason did get that wave around, got the lucky dunk back onto the lead lap here, so that's a great break there for Ben. We did see Jordan Hand come back down pit side there on lap number 10. Same with Brian Underwood in that Wrangler number 6 ride. There's that 115 as well. That is Kyle Shepard rolling out there onto the speedway. So Shepard, he's still on the lead lap here himself. He'll look to try to get himself up towards the front of the field, as quite a few of these guys have the same paint schemes here, which is making it look really, really cool here. And I'm trying to figure out what that team is. I'm assuming it's the JBR crew, which is Justin Bradley, Scott Hendricks, and a few of these other drivers. Let's see if we can get a look here. Obviously, Kyle Shepard, probably one of those as well. So you kind of see their paint schemes, and they look very, very cool out there on the racetrack, man. Very beautiful looking paint schemes out there, and they are hooked up here this evening and trying to race their way up and into victory lane. There you do see Justin Bradley and Kyle Shepard. I do believe we see another one up there a little farther forward, the 67. That is Scott Heinrichs. I keep saying Hendricks. It's not Hendricks. Heinrichs there in the 67 ride. And then another one up here just inside our top 10. Up in that 9th position on the racetrack, it's Austin Farnham there in position number 9. So for the JBR crew, I think is what that said. Let me double check here. I do believe, yes, the JBR team ready to rock and roll here this evening. As here we go, back to green flag racing as the 33 of Jordan Kreider sees that green flag fly. The 33 back onto lap pedals. All these drivers up and through the gear trying to work their way to the front of the pack, but we do see some issues a little deeper in the field here. Few of these drivers a little bit more broken up. Take a look back here. These guys are a little bit more single file already, kind of busted up. You see the 66 of Gleason, that 115 ride of Kyle Shepard. I'm not sure what's wrong with Shepard's car, but he is off the pace a bunch here down through corner 1 and 2. I'm not sure what's gone wrong here with Kyle Shepard's ride, but it looks like something catastrophic there for his machine, as already our race leaders down through corner number 3 and 4 as he's just rolling down the back straightaway. They're already onto the front stretch. You see that gap already starting to brew there between this lead pack and the number, I do believe it is the 15 ride of Aiden Lucas there. So Aiden Lucas, Josh Kreider, Frank Hughes Jr., Matthew Morgan, and a couple of these other drivers like James Efa and Jonathan Gaston, they're already back about a second and a half behind our lead pack here this evening. That is definitely not a place you want to be out there on the speedways. Here they come, marching down the back straightaway once again as we are 12 laps down here in this one. Already 12 laps completed, still quite a lot of laps left to go here. And if we stay clean and green, we are definitely going to see some green flag pit stops for these drivers, which could make things a very, very interesting year. Trying to see all these drivers and teams work together and figure out a way and a plan to head down pit side, make green flag pit stops, and definitely trying to work themselves into a winning strategy out there on the racetrack. It's Jordan Kreider, though. Kreider out in front, leading this race, looking beautiful as always here this evening. As let's take a look on the hood of this car here. He's got something special on the front of it here, and I really want to get a good look at it. As is it Longhorn Steakhouse? What's on the side of this car? There's something on it that we want to take a look at here. Let me see if we can get this to move. Mr. and Mrs. Jordan Kreider, 7/14/25. So congratulations to Jordan and Natalie. I do believe that they tied the knot and got married there on the 7/14, which was July 14th, about 5 days ago. So huge congratulations there to Mr. and Mrs. Jordan Kreider here at the Premium Stock Car Racing League. Huge shout out there to Jordan, as it does say Longhorn Steakhouse on the hood of it, but you do see, I do believe that is their wedding photo on the hood here. That's absolutely awesome. And he's got the tuxedo on as well. What in the world? That is dope. He's got a tuxedo suit on. He's in the car. He didn't wear a tuxedo at the wedding, though. I love that t-shirt. I don't know if that's his dad or his, I feel like that's his dad there on the far right-hand side, left-hand side, I guess, of the picture. The tuxedo shirt, too. That is dope, man. Congrats there to Jordan and Natalie on tying the knot and getting married, man. That is absolutely insane. Huge shout-out to them. Huge shout-out to the whole Kreider family. And look at Jordan out in front. New man here. Married now, and now at the front of the field looking to try to pick up the first win of this season, as Sure Haller says, come on Haller, number 77, cheering on Mr. Ryan Haller out there on the racetrack right now. Haller sits back in about position number 16 here on the speedway, but good news is he is in this lead pack, this big group here at the front of the field. They have a lot of speed, a lot of momentum. Being this big pack here, they're going to be able to easily pull away from the rest of these drivers that did not get a very good restart. And that is tough news here for some of those drivers a little farther back. When you look at Josh Kreider and these guys, they are still over 2 seconds. They've actually lost time to that lead pack. So unfortunately for Josh Kreider, Frank Hughes Jr. in the 61. There we see Matthew Morgan, James Efaw, Aiden Lucas, and Jonathan Gaston here kind of in this second group. Now they've got more single file. They're trying to work themselves back up to that group, but they're going to have to find a lot of speed in that quick hurry out there on the racetrack. As of right now, they're over 2 seconds back, and now about 2 seconds behind them, you see this third group kind of in the same boat here with the 95 ride of Matt Skurlak, I'm probably getting it wrong. I do apologize, Matthew, but Matthew there in the 95 ride, the 24 of Jordan Hannon, the Optic Gaming ride there in 27th. Last season's champion and our double champ. He's won the championship the last 2 years in a row. Our season 4 and season 5 champion there, the 6 of Brian Underwood back in 28th, and that's where we see Justin Bradley and Scott Heinrichs there in position number 30. About 18 seconds farther back, you do see Ben Gleason, unfortunately for Kyle Shepard. He is down and off the racetrack here. He's down on pit road, and that is not a place you want to be. That is not a good spot out there on the racetrack. Let's see if we can go back to this restart and see kind of really what happened here. Things got a little broken up quickly on this restart. I'm not sure what happens here, but things kind of get a little bit sporadic here as things kind of get rocking and rolling. Drivers start to build up this speed and momentum. Just not sure what goes on here. Looks like a big stack up on the outside lane, and look at that 115. That's where he gets all that damage. Oh man, drives into the back end. I do believe that was his teammate there in the 67 ride that he gets a piece of. But let's take a look up here. I do believe this is Matthew Morgan in this number 12 ride. Let's see if we can get a look at this. See if we can get another angle here at it, as maybe it's not him. Who am I looking at here in the 19 ride? Oh, man, I don't know who that is. Who is that, chat? Who's in that 19 ride? I don't know who that is. Oh, no. Oh, it's the 79. Okay, it's Danny White. So Danny White looks like he kind of gets off to a bad start right here. And for the number 79 ride, as he kind of gets off to this bad start, the 19 right with him, really can't get going, can't get launched right here. And for a lot of these other drivers, they kind of just get stuck with him here. As he kind of gets locked up, can't really get moving, can't really get rolling. For all these other drivers back behind him, they kind of all get tied up in it. They really got nowhere to go as the 115 gets into the back end of the 67. The 14 has to move down and out of the way. And then everybody else here back behind these guys really just has to try to move up and out of the way, trying to avoid some of these slower race cars. And unfortunately for them, it kind of separates themselves from the rest of that lead pack, and that lead pack just continues to pull farther and farther away as we see that 115 still down pit side is out in front. We do see Danny White at the front of the field here. So Danny White was kind of the one that got a little bit messed up going through the gears there, trying to get back up to speed down the front straightaway. Now here he is leading this race. So Danny White out in front. You do see one driver headed down pit side here. A little bit of an unscheduled pit stop for the 48 machine. As the Lowe's Pro ride comes down pit side, he's trying to find his pit stall there. Kind of went through a couple, realized that's not really where his pit was. There we go, he finally finds it. He'll get down pit side here, but he's kind of down pit road all by himself, and that is not a spot you want to be. Down pit side all by your lonesome here. When you come back out onto the racetrack, you're probably going to go a lap down. Even if you stay in front of this lead pack, you're probably going to go a lap down. Now, luckily enough, he will probably be the first and one of the only drivers a lap down out there on the racetrack, which could be a big benefactor for him here. If we get another caution flag, we'll get that lucky dog back onto the lead lap here this evening, as Brian Carrier says, let's go 88, as he's cheering on Mr. Dylan Carriers. Here we go. We do see Benjamin Romano, William Connolly, Jordan Kreider, who was our race leader there for a lot of laps down pit road this time. So 3 more cats head down pit side here, making their green flag pit stops. Now this is right around lap number 21, so this is just a little bit before halfway through this race, but obviously we are now inside that pit window where this could be their final pit stops of the day. Their only pit stop that they need here really on the evening is around this area, this 20 to 25, 30 lap area. If you can make it that far, that's really the only time you have to come down pit road. You should be able to make it another 25, 30 laps here without having to worry about fuel, if this being only a 45 lap race here this evening, as Applegate takes that race lead. It's it's going to be weird trying to figure out some of these drivers, new cars, new cats out there. So it's going to be fun to kind of figure out all these drivers, paint schemes and everything else. As the 42 of Grant Applegate. Applegate for the longest time usually runs the 57 ride. Now the target 42 looking like Kyle Larson out there on the speedway, rolling in position number 1. Right behind him, the 79 ride of Danny White, the Gaston's iRacing Graphics Old Dogs Racing number 79 ride rolls there in position number 2 here this evening. Then we see the Burt's Electric number 78 as there's that 48 ride. We talked about him coming down pit side by himself for Cody Cash. Unfortunately, that will put him a lap down out on the racetrack. So that's a heartbreaker there for him, but hopefully he can try to stay on the lead lap, or if he can kind of get in with this lead group here, maybe kind of keep himself into a position where he can hang on to that lucky dog spot as the 9 ride of Benjamin Romano. Unfortunately for Romano, a very long pit stop there. He is now at least 2 laps down out on the racetrack, at risk of going even 3 laps down here this evening. For Ben Gleason, he's at risk of going a lap down here as well. Unfortunately here for that 66 ride, he was one of those drivers that kind of got moved around there during that restart. He lost the draft with everybody, and he's kind of been sitting out there with a little bit of a duck and out of water, and unfortunately really no help, no pushing help or anything else, and our race leaders are catching up to his back bumper, and a quick hurry is there right there at a corner number 4, hunting him down here, and that will put, unfortunately for Ben Gleason, another lap down here this evening. For our early race leader here, leading quite a few laps there during that run, that's the 33 ride of Jordan Grinder and William Connolly. They're just a 2-car pack here. Now this is really going to hurt their chances here this evening, unless we see a caution flag and everyone else comes down pit side. These guys get that track position to get back to the front of the field. If we don't see a yellow flag and we keep it clean and green, they're going to be at risk of being quite a bit behind the rest of the field here. They're running much slower lap times than the rest of these drivers in front of them, being this only 2-car pack out there on the speedway. And that is definitely not a spot you want to be, as you get no drafting help and you just continue to fall farther and farther behind. The lead pack out there on the racetrack is out in front, and it is Ryan Rose. Rose has this race lead with Matthew Wood to his outside. Wood is the driver in that AMP machine, that beautiful 19 ride, working the outside groove here. That is Matthew Wood. It's good to see Matthew back out there here this season. Same with Melvin Brangruer. They're in position number 2 as Applegate slides back, and we do see these drivers slowing down here, so it looks like we will get another caution flag. So yellow flag will come back out here this evening. Now, I'm not too sure. Was this a scheduled caution flag? That's the big question. It was a stage break on lap 25. So scheduled pit stops here. So for a bunch of these drivers, this is mission accomplished. That was a great game plan coming down pit road before pit lane close, and this should push drivers like Jordan Kreider, William Connolly to the front of the field. If everyone else comes down pit side, they've already made their green flag pit stops. They'll put them into a big position here. For a driver like Cody Cash, he will probably get that lucky dog. The wave around right there is him in the 77 ride right here. Make a little bit of contact. I'm not sure what was going on here, as they're kind of getting checked up. The 77 kind of just gets into the back end there of that 48. A little damage there to Ryan Haller's race car. That's not a good break there for Haller. He definitely did not need that. But for a driver like Cody Cash, Cash will get the wave around here, the lucky dog, and we should see drivers like Ben Gleason, Benjamin Romano. They should be able to get wave arounds themselves here and potentially get themselves back onto the lead lap as well. For a driver like Chris Getz, who's down pit road, he's trying to keep himself on the lead lap here today. Same with the 115, unfortunately, there for Kyle Shepard. His night kind of looks like it has come to an end here today, and that's a heartbreaker there for one of the newest drivers here in the series, and for Shepard, not the way he wants to be. And, you know, sitting down pit road here, watching these other drivers duke it out here for our shootout here this evening from Daytona International Speedway. Is Lonnie Kreider? What's good, Lonnie? Lonnie coming in, showing the love, says good to be back. Good truth right there. Yes, sir, that is a good truth right there. It is good to be back. It is good to see these drivers out there on the racetrack right where they belong here on Saturday nights. And that's up on the main stage here with Peacemaker Gaming, and watching these drivers duke it out. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, during this caution break, If you guys haven't already, make sure you guys do us a favor here quickly. Jump into the chat and drop a comment. Let us know who you're cheering for, who you want to see up in victory lane. And make sure you hit that like on the stream as well. It helps us out a ton. Helps push the stream out to more and more viewers where everybody gets an opportunity to view and watch these amazing drivers and get a good look at all of our amazing sponsors here as well on the season. As we do see all these cats make their way down pit side. There's our pole sitter in the 91 ride. That's Sean Jensick. Jensick down pit road. And now we do see drivers like Ryan Rose here. Rose was down pit road. He'll navigate his way to the front of the field. Now we did see drivers like Jordan Kreider here and a few other ones come back down pit lane here. So definitely a bit of a strategy call there. I'm not sure why they came down pit road before that caution flag for the stage break and then back down pit road here. I figured they would have leapfrogged most of these drivers and got that track position to be at the front of the field, but obviously not the case here for that 33 ride as he does roll back out there. We do see Haller still down pit side trying to get his car repaired as the ride the Dente machine down pit side as Benjamin Romano gets that wave around. Same with Cody Cash here about to get the wave himself. Same with Ben Gleason. All about to get back onto the lead lap. So great break there for them as we get them all stacked up, racked up, ready to go here in this one as Bones does what's good, Bones. Bones says, let's go, Bones. How are you? Hopefully you're having yourself a wonderful day as we get ready to go back to battle here this evening. Let's see if we can get another one of these drivers up here into the booth. Let's see if we can get Josh Kreider here. Kreider is one of our admins here. He's one of the guys that makes this all happen and one of the owners here of the series. Let's see if we can get him up here into the booth. I'm just gonna kind of see where he's at. There he is. Okay, so let's get Josh up here into the booth right now and see if we can pull him in for a little in-race interview here. Hey Josh, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. To get a copy?
Hey Aaron, I got you.
Josh, man, so far, good run here for you. Obviously, a couple caution flags, a little bit of strategy out there on the racetrack. What are you gonna do to try to put yourself up here into victory lane?
Yeah, man, I been driving the heck out of this thing, and we're gonna have some pit strategy here. Some cars are gonna try to pit to make it to the end in case I agree my checkered. I'm gonna stay out here and try to save some fuel and see where it goes, man. But overall, I'm really happy. It's been pretty clean, and you know, a bunch of new guys running together. So I tell you what, it's about time to go win 140 mother effing dollars, isn't it?
Yes, sir, it is. Hey, don't forget that, 10% of that goes to the announcer. No, I'm just kidding. Josh, brother, it's good to see you guys back out there on the racetrack, man, right where you guys belong here on Saturday nights up here on the stream and battling out there on the racetrack. Brother, good luck. Have some fun, and hopefully we'll see you and talk to you at the end of this night. Maybe $140 richer.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to say hi to Uncle Lonnie, all the family watching. I'm going to go win this thing.
Absolutely, brother. Good luck. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for Josh Kreider. Is Kreider going to get ready to try to go put himself up into victory lane? Now, there's about 31 other drivers out there on the racetrack that probably say otherwise. They'd probably would rather see their favorite driver or themselves up in victory lane, but we'll have to wait and see if he can work that Toyota Camry up here into the top spot today. As there's Kreider rolling right now, currently in about the 11th position, getting ready for this restart. Out in front. It's almost like we got this race kind of restarted here. Our front row, once again, like we were at the very start of this race. It was the 91 ride of Sean Jensick, who started on the pole. The 79 of Danny White, who started to his outside. And once again, they find themselves 1 and 2, getting ready for a restart here at Daytona International Speedway. As we are in our congratulations, Jordan and Natalie shootout here this evening as the Rolling Wieners $140 Dash for Cash up for grabs for one of our lucky Dash for Cash drivers here this evening. So money on the line, pride on the line, and our opening race win here for these drivers. So there's a lot here to try to work with this. Here we go, back to battle here with the Premium Stock Car Racing League as Sean Jensick gets a great jump there from that 19 ride of Melvin Branger right on his back bumper, pushing him right out in front and looking to continue to push him down through corner 1 and 2 and back down the back straightaway. Outside lane just not getting the push and help that they need. Unfortunately for Danny White, that Ford Mustang falling back here, but trying to get that speed and momentum built up down the back straightaway. See if he can try to build up that speed, get right back into the battle. And look who's back up inside the top 5 here this evening. It's Dylan Carrier. Carrier right there has now worked himself up and into position number 3 on the speedway. Where did Dylan Carrier come from? But one of our OGs here battling at the front of the pack and putting himself into position late in this race to potentially win this thing. As now down across the line, 30 laps complete, 25 more laps left to go, and we're going to jump into a very quick Peacemaker Gaming crank it up here. Actually, it's only 14 laps left to go, so a very, very quick Peacemaker Gaming crank it up here. I forgot, it's only 45 laps of racing action here this evening, so the laps are clicking down, and there it is. As soon as we said the word crank it up, they're going to wreck down the back straightaway as the crank it up curse is going to continue. A bunch of drivers tore up here, including, oh man, looks like heavy damage here. The 14 rider, Justin Bradley, he's tore up in it. The 21 ride, the AC Delco machine of James Efa, he's got a bunch of heavy damage here. Let's take a look back and see how this one got started. Is another big wreck here this evening down the back straightaway, and unfortunately there's quite a few drivers that got absolutely shredded apart here in this one. Let's see if we can get another look at it. As there we go, just contact right here. I'm not sure if is that Landon Burbage maybe just getting into the middle here, maybe a little bit too much movement in that outside lane. Something to see here. It's foggy, so you see 3 wide back behind this 14 ride. Unfortunately for Bradley, he kind of moves to the outside, realizes that the 6 ride is there, can't really go there. He tries to follow his teammate back down to the middle lane. Unfortunately, it's down over the nose of Noah Blackwell there, and unfortunately as he comes down the track, he goes over Surlac's ride, and then you see the 21 machine, just nowhere for him to go, and that is a big hit right here for, honestly, William Connolly, for Landon Burbage, but for the 21 ride as well. This is a big hit here for him. Slams into that 2 ride, slams into the wall. Heavy damage for him, heavy damage for Landon Burbage, for the number 25 rider Connolly. And as you watch this thing kind of pull away, toe link busted in it, front end busted in it. This car is not even driving in a straight line anymore. It is absolutely cockeyed, and it is absolutely cooked. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's going to be diabolical if he can try to work this car back to the front of the field or even get himself back into this race. Hopefully, still has a quick repair and an opportunity to continue racing here this evening, as that is going to be impossible. Once you get onto the banking here at Daytona, that car is just not going to stay pointed in the right direction for at all out there on the racetrack. As you do see a lot of these drivers head down pit side, including Justin Bradley there, and you do see James Efa, he's headed down pit side here as the car's still a little busted up here. He's hoping to get this thing repaired and back out there onto the racetrack. As let's see if the crew can go to work, and there it is. The crew does some magic. They get that thing repaired. He's back out there onto the speedway. It's pointed back in the right direction, and that is good news for the AC Delco team. And now for a lot of these drivers, that caution flag really just gave them a lucky break here potentially, as if we weren't already good on fuel. I think everyone after that last caution flag, our stage break there, I think they were good on fuel. They didn't have to worry about fuel the rest of this race. But now coming back down pit side, if we do go to NASCAR overtime, which is potentially more than likely here this evening, then that could open up the door here for a lot of these drivers to stay out there, continue racing for 2 or 3 of our NASCAR overtimes, where the drivers that stayed out right there that were last down pit side at lap 27, they may not be able to make it multiple green-white checkers here this evening, so we'll have to keep a close eye on it. As Sean Jensen continues to lead the way, Melvin Branger there in second. It's Dylan Carrier up and into third here. Let's see if we can get Dylan Carrier up and into the booth here real quick. Is Carrier waiting patiently here? He's having himself a good day, a good run. Let's see if we can get him up and into the booth as he gets ready to try to pick up a big win. Another good season here for that number 88 ride. Hey Dylan, it's Aaron up here on the Peacemaker broadcasting booth to get a copy.
Got you loud and clear, good sir.
Dylan, man, back for another season. How do you feel going into this race and into season 6 here after what was a very solid end to the year for you there in season 5? But obviously things just did not work out, whether it was PC issues, iRacing issues, or just some bad luck there late in the season. But you were having some good runs, leading lots of laps, and you are back at the front of the field trying to get off to a good start here in season 6.
Yeah, feel good. Having an average running position of 2.0 at the end of a season of a 5-race stretch, but not finishing any of those races because of iRacing and PC issues, it sucks. But I think I've got it figured out, and I think we got it figured out. I haven't crashed. I've been testing a lot during the off season. Got a new monitor. I got a big old ultra wide now, so I can see more. Definitely helps on the track, and going to make a run for that championship this year.
Absolutely, brother. We look forward to it, and can't wait for more and more opportunities to have you up here into the booth. Good luck out there for the rest of the night, and maybe at the end of this one, we'll see you back up here and potentially celebrating a $140 Rolling Wieners Dash for Cash victory.
Hopefully. Thank you.
Absolutely. Enjoy the rest of your night, and good luck if I don't see you back up here.
Thank you, brother.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, there we go. Dylan Carrier coming in, giving us word there that he is looking for that championship. He wants to be back up there in contention to win this championship here this year. And as we jump into our Peacemaker Gaming Crank It Up, what we're going to do is we're going to leave the webcam on there for Dylan Carrier, and we're going to jump up and into the cockpit here of this 88 ride. We'll crank it up here on this restart. And as we do, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, crank up that volume, cheer on your favorite drivers down in the comment section. Make sure you hit that like, share, follow, and subscribe button, and let's get ready to go back to battle here at Daytona International Speedways. It will be 11 laps left to go. We're only going to take a lap or two. I just got to quickly go pee, so as we do, we will get this race back underway here, and we will crank it up here this evening with the Premium Stock Car Racing League as Season 6 back underway in the Congrats Jordan and Natalie Shootout here from Daytona International Speedway. And it's on board with Dylan Carrier as we go back to Green Flag Racing. Crank it up, ladies and gentlemen. Here on the front straightaway out of corner number 4. Look out, ladies and gentlemen. Big wreck. Actually, this is off corner number 2. Oh, baby. Big red flag out there on the racetrack. Multiple drivers upside down here, down in the infield. One of them being Brian Underwood here. A bunch of other drivers airborne out of corner number 2. Things got absolutely wild in a quick hurry here this evening. Let's take a look and see kind of how this one ended up, because there was a lot of drivers that all of a sudden ended up airborne, ended up upside down, and right in the wrong place in the wrong time. Let's see if we can figure out one of these drivers. Let's take a look here at the number 6 right here, Brian Underwood. Underwood's kind of stuck right in the middle of it. It starts in front of him. Unfortunately for Josh Kreider. Kreider was right in the middle of that. We were about to go on board with Kreider. He ended up getting tore up in that one. Tough break there for Josh Kreider. But take a look there at the 6th rider. Brian Underwood upside down. Turtled here on the back straightaway. And unfortunately, I had to tow that car back down pit road. And a lot of other cars just absolutely tore up and destroyed here down and out of corner number 2. Let's take a look here. As the 5 ride, that's where it gets started. Unfortunately here for Josh Kreider. Looks like Kreider and Aiden Lucas hooked together here down through quarter 1 and 2, and it looks like the 15 just gives a shove here to that 5 ride, gets Kreider kind of bent out of shape here, gets that car loose on its toes, and then turns it around, and all of a sudden right into lap here. The 119, nowhere for him to go, as all of a sudden he's got that 5 ride parked on him and kind of washes him up the racetrack. Look at Rose right down onto the apron. Look at the 24 ride of Jordan Kreider. A lot of these drivers able to get through there, but look at the mayhem down and out of corner number 4. The 6 ride upside down, the 5 ride airborne, the 19 ride of Matthew Wood, he's airborne. So many of these drivers going for some absolutely insane rides here out of corner number 2 this evening, and so many cars just absolutely got tore up, including a couple of those old dog racing rides. Farrell Robbins, Ryan Haller, Ben Gleason. So many of these cats just getting absolutely shredded here. See if we can get another look at another angle at all this chaos here. So all these drivers are just gonna drive in here and they just keep on coming as they're built up the speed and not enough time to react or get checked up. And man, that's the big one here today, ladies and gentlemen. That is the big one. Let's see if we can jump on board here with Brian Underwood. Underwood's going to have a crazy POV of this one as he's kind of rolling back here about 10 cars or so behind these guys. And all of a sudden, he sees them going around. He tries to get checked up, and woo, baby, not a whole lot you can do right there, and he just continues to go for a ride that ends up on his lid, and this is a sight you never want to see here. And unfortunately, that car upside down will come to a stop there on the back stretch, and that is definitely a bad place to be out there on the speedway. Let's see if we can jump on board here with Josh Kreider, as Kreider is the first car to go around here. You can really see what he can see here from the cockpit, as right there just narrowly avoids Kreider. Unfortunately for the 119, he gets tied up in it. There's all these other drivers just piling in there. Oh, man. Absolute chaos here at Daytona, and we're not even close to being done this race. There's still a lot of laps left to go. Still opportunity for some NASCAR overtime here this evening as well. So for these drivers, there's still a lot of action. Take a look at the 19 right here. Matthew Wood tries to get checked up, trying to avoid it, gets slammed into the wall, then gets slammed into from behind and bounced around, tore up, back into Kreider there, and oh man, so many cars absolutely getting manhandled there. Let's take a look at the 2 ride here. I feel like I saw Landon Burbage somehow get through this fairly unscathed. Now he's a little farther back, sees it starting to happen, so he starts to roll out of it, but look at the chaos in front of him. Where do you go? How do you find a lane? And somehow he gets through this without any contact at all. What a piece of driving there from Landon Burbage. That was absolutely insane for where he was sitting, where he was rolling at a corner number 2 to be able to keep himself out of that carnage. That is absolutely miraculous. Let's take a look here on board with this 2 ride. There they go. They're starting to pile up. Most drivers would just go right down to the infield here to try to avoid it. He goes right through the middle of this. Man, the seas parted, and luckily enough, he's able to get through there unscathed and able to continue to keep on battling here this evening as we'll get them all stacked up, racked up, and ready to go back to green flag racing. As Brian Carrier says, 88 got lucky. Yeah, Dylan Carrier got very lucky right there. If that 5 ride would have went around a foot farther forward, probably would have clipped that number 88 ride, and probably would have spun him first head on into that corner 2 wall. Luckily enough, he was able to avoid the 88 and Dylan continues to keep on battling here this evening. His Bone says, what a ride. What a ride is an understatement. That was a crazy, crazy one here this evening. Now, we were in our Peacemaker Gaming Crank It Up. We are going to finish our Crank It Up. Luckily enough, I had to go pee very quick, and it was a quick pee, not a very long pee, but luckily enough, we're able to keep on battling. We'll get these drivers ready to rock and roll and ready to go back to green flag racing here, as should be about 5 laps left to go in this race. So 5 more laps left to duke it out here in this one, as Brian Alessandro says, good job, Landon. Cheered on Mr. Burbage here this evening, as ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let me know in the chat. Do you guys think that's the final caution flag? Do you guys think we'll see another one? Do we go to NASCAR overtime here this evening? Or do we see this stay clean and green here to the end of this feature event? I don't know. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tight. I'm not sure if we're going to see it stay that long. I don't know, man. This is going to be a crazy one. It's Nick Lindsay. What's good, Nick? Nick says that was a good crash. That was a very good crash. That was a fun one for any of the Chaos fans in the stands. Definitely a very good crash out there. Here we go. Back to green flag racing as that 91 run gets the green flag back out into the air. Can Sean Jensick, for the first time here in his Premium Stock Car Racing League, start here, get the win as well? Can he hold these guys off, or is he going to get a Premium Stock Car Racing League? How do you do here as we see some of our OGs right to his back bumper? He throws a big block there on the 15 ride. That is Aiden Lucas. We just saw Aiden drive through the 5 ride and cause that last caution flag. Does Aiden cause another one here? As you do see the 91 ride, Sean Jensick with another big block, goes up the racetrack, cuts in front of the 24, takes his line, but now he gets a little bit squirrely right there. That's going to move him down the racetrack. That'll allow that 24 at Jordan Hand to jump up and take that race lead. So Jordan Hand now out in front. Sometimes being at the front of the field is the best place to be, especially on that final lap if we see a caution flag, but sometimes it is the worst place to be, as the drivers behind you are going to be doing everything they can to try to work their way around you here late in this race. Sometimes it's better to be that car that's the aggressor and not the car that's on defense. As you see the 33 ride, good to see Jordan Kreider right back up here. How did Kreider get all the way back up here so quickly? He was at the back of the pack before that caution flag, was able to keep himself out of it, but man, he has all of a sudden found himself up inside the top 5. His lookout, they're wrecking at the front of the field again. There goes Jordan Hand around in the rest of the field. It's gonna wreck down and out of corner number 4. Oh, baby, NASCAR overtime on the horizon here this evening. And for Jordan Kreider, he's one of those drivers that gets tied up in it, tore up in it, as Jordan Hand, the first cat to go around right here. And that will put us back under the yellow flag here this evening. So yellow flag back out and about here. Let's take a look and see how this kind of got started. Once again, we talked about the 24 being at the front of the field. Sometimes that is the worst place to be, is the pushes on your back bumper. Everyone trying to figure out a way to get around you. Sometimes it gets a little bit too aggressive, and you're just trying to hang on and hope for the best. And unfortunately here for Kreider, or not for Kreider, for the 24 ride of Jordan Hand, not going to be the place he wants to be. Now I'm trying to find Jordan Hand's car in this. There he is. There's the 24. As there's the Optic Gaming ride. And you see Rose just on his back bumper there, pushed him down through corner number 3 and 4. And he's just kind of glued to his back bumper. I'm not sure if the 24 just gets loose here, maybe into like the crack or some of the bumps out there on the racetrack, but kind of just gets him loose on his toes and still getting shoved by the 78. It spins him right down the racetrack, right over the lap there of Cody Blackmore. Blackmore nowhere to go. The 27 ride, he's tied up in it. Then you see the 67 nowhere to go here as well. He gets slammed into. There's Jordan Kreider, nowhere to go for him. And the 25 of Connolly, the 66 of Gleason, the 61 and the 119 get tied together deeper in the field. You see the 2 ride finally gets tied up in that one. A little damage for Sean Jensick as well. And few more of these drivers getting tore up. Let's see if we can jump on board here with the 48 ride. Let's see if we can get a look here on Cody Cash. As Cash was able to get through that pretty nicely. We'll see if he was able to continue to get through that. But for Cash, he's just outside the top 10 here. Sees this happening right in front of him. See all these drivers get tore up, turned around. He's trying to stay out of the 79. Able to do a pretty good job at it. Able to kind of avoid a lot of these drivers. Does give a little shot there to the 67 as the 67 comes down the racetrack into the 18 right. I know what Blackwell. That's going to give some pretty good damage there to Blackwell as well. But man, there's a lot of tore up race cars again. And they may be starting starting to drop like flies here. Drivers that have used up their quick repairs if they get too much damage and cars get too tore up, their nights may be over, as you do see Ryan Haller, he's down pit road. William Connolly's down pit side. Jordan Hand, Melvin Brangruer, Gleason, all these drivers trying to get their cars fixed up. Underwood, he's rolling back out there now. For Brian Underwood, he is a couple laps down out there on the racetrack, but if we keep seeing caution flags and wrecks and everything else, who knows, maybe he can get himself right back into the battle, as Nathan Brookover will consume this race lead here in this one, as Brian Carrier says, clean and green. Brian, unfortunately, brother, you were wrong. No clean and green. That was another caution flag, and now we head to NASCAR overtime here this evening. That's going to make things very, very fun for all of us here today, as Hannah says, way to go, Landon. You're doing great, Landon. He was able to get a little bit of damage there on that last caution flag, but he's able to hang on to it here, still rolling up, I do believe, in the 4th position on the racetrack, him in the 88 ride there, as you do see Dylan Carrier. Carrier is one of those drivers that was last down pit road on lap number 27, and now that we're getting into some NASCAR overtime, fuel may become a very big question there for that Haas 88 machine, as he sits there in position number 4, trying to save that fuel and everything else. We'll have to wait and see if he's got enough left in the tank to get this done here today, or if he'll fall a little short if they're on the racetrack. As Brookover, as this race leads, though, Nathan Brookover out in front, showing the way here this evening. Let's see if Brookover can try to put himself up and into victory lane after what's been a pretty crazy race, man. A pretty wild one for a lot of these drivers. And I'm not sure if Brookover is going to be able to put himself into the winner's circle or not here this evening. Let's see if we can get Brookover quickly into the booth as they head down into corner number 1. See if we can get him up here. Hey, Nathan, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Do you get a copy?
Yeah. So
Hey, not much, Nathan. Here we go, brother. Coming into our first attempt at NASCAR overtime. What's going through your mind right now? Sitting in this top spot. How do you hold these guys off? How do you put yourself into that position to pick up the win here this evening?
I'm just hoping I didn't get too much damage in that last wreck, and well, I just hold on and pray that they push me to the win.
Absolutely. Well, you got a lot of fast cats around you. It's going to be very, very tough, but good luck out there. Have fun, and hopefully we'll see you up here in the broadcast booth here in just a few more laps.
Thanks, buddy.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there. Nathan Brookover, that 27 ride, ready to go back to battle, ready to duke it out here this evening. Let's see if he can get it done and put himself up and into victory lane. As Brookover, Sean Jensick, 1 and 2 on the speedway. What a turn of events it would be there for the Anything EC Sparkle and Shine ride, as the Carrier Motorsports 91 of Sean Jensick trying to pick up this dub here this evening, as Dylan Carrier there in position number 4, Landon Burbage in that 3rd spot. Then we look back in that 3rd row, Jonathan Gaston there in 5th, Cody Cash in 6th, Danny White, the 21 of James Efa. Then we see Matthew Morgan in the 119, or in Austin Farnham in that 119, and Matthew Morgan in the 12 ride, rounding out our top 10. Is here we go, back to green flag racing. A great launch right there for the number 27 as Brookover trying to jump out in front, trying to see if he can slide up in front of this 91 ride of Sean Jensick. Unfortunately, Jensick getting a great shove there from Dylan Carrier. Carrier, I do believe, is now teammates with that 91 ride, so being teammates here at the front of the field late in this race, could that be the winning strategy here for that number 91 ride of Sean Jensick here this evening, as Jensick will try to get it done as they head down the back straightaway here, hoping to see that white flag fly, not wanting to see another yellow flag and another green-white checkered here this evening. But I don't know how we're going to keep it clean and green. They're still moving around, bouncing around there. They're 3 wide, just outside our top 3. Down the front straightaway and in to the tri-oval here at Daytona. They're wrecking here behind them. The white flag is out, though. The white flag is out. This race will end under the checkered flag no matter what. So we will race back to the line. They're still piling up back there. Look at Haller able to get through there. The 84 rider, Cody Blackmore, tore up. Noah Blackwell, Chris Getz, all these drivers absolutely destroyed here. The 27 rider, Brookover, that we were just talking to, he's unfortunately out of this race. As Sean Jensick, Dylan Carrier, Cody Cash out in front, a second lead now between themselves and Landon Burbage. Burbage, Danny White, Jonathan Gaston, the 76 of Farrell Robbins here. A bunch of these Old Dogs racing rides just outside of our top 3 here this evening, trying to hunt down our race leaders, but looks like they may run out of time as the 88 rider Dylan Carrier goes to the outside looking for the win. He gets the run, and it's Dylan Carrier who picks up the checkered flag here this evening. It will pick up our congrats Jordan and Natalie Shootout here this evening with the Premium Stock Car Racing League. It's Dylan Carrier who will get the job done and pick up the Rolling Wieners Dash for cash here this evening. $140 richer for that Ford Mustang 88 machine as the Carrier Motorsports ride picks up his first checkered flag here on the year. Now, this is a non-points paying race, but nonetheless, it is going to be a huge momentum gainer for that 81 ride as Carrier gets the job done. Sean Jensick, his new teammate, comes home in position number 2, and one of our newer drivers here as well in the series, Cody Cash, coming home in 3rd, with Landon Burbage, Danny White rounding out our top 5 here this evening as the number 88 of Dylan Carrier. He's going to get ready to celebrate here this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up here for Dylan Carrier's Carrier. Picks up the dub, and he gets to celebrate tonight's checkered flag after a heck of a performance, a heck of a drive, and for the 88 ride, able to get the job done here in this one. As, my boy, hey, it's Kev coming in, showing the love. That's Ryan Haller says, hey, sorry, man, I didn't know you pulled me into the broadcast. The speaker on my phone turned off. I'm like, oh, no, that's a tough one. We did pull you in. We heard you at first, and then it cut out. But it's no biggie, brother. It's no biggie, as he says, finished 12th after all that mess. Yes, somehow or another, you made it through there, my boy. We'll take a look back and see that wreck there at the white flag. As Brian Carrier says, hell yes, good job, son. Cheered on Dylan Carrier here this evening as he gets to celebrate here at Daytona International Speedway for our first win of the season. Anna Alessandro says, good job, Landon. As Bones does says, congratulations. Sure says, crazy race tonight. Definitely a crazy race here this evening, and it's going to be just as crazy next Saturday as we go to Daytona International Speedway. We'll be right back here next Saturday night for our regular season points opener, and I do believe that race is going to be much longer, but with it being longer and now their stage in there as well, more points and everything else on the line, I feel like it's going to be a little bit more cool, calm, and collected for the first bit of that race. Obviously, it's going to be about double that length. So for a lot of these drivers, you know that you have a lot more time to try to rebound or try to keep on racing here this evening. And with points being on the line, even though it's the first race of the season, you never want to make mistakes. You never want to put yourself into positions to potentially take yourself, put yourself behind the 8 ball right out of the get-go. So good to see that these drivers are ready to rock and roll and ready to go for the regular season. What's going to be a crazy season here this year. And we'll get ready now to pull in our top 3 here for their post-race interviews. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up here for Mr. Burbage, for Dylan Carrier's Dylan coming home with that checkered flag here this evening is Matthew. What's good, Matthew? Matthew, brother, I've been struggling trying to say your last name all night long. Mr. Matthew Skurlak. I don't know how you pronounce it, brother. Let me know in the comment section or shoot me a message on Discord and let me know how you pronounce your last name, because I've been struggling with that all night long. But Matthew coming in, hitting that subscribe button, becoming a brand new subscriber here on Peacemaker Gaming. I appreciate that, brother. As here we go, bringing in our race winner, Dylan Carrier. Actually, Carrier just disappeared off the Discord. Where'd he go? Dylan, get back here, brother. Where did he just disappear to? I'll drag him in here. Hey, Dylan, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Did you get a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy. Sorry, I'm just getting moved around everywhere.
Yeah, I was moving you around there. I can't see. It doesn't let me drag people and continue down the board. So if it's too far up there, I kind of just got to skip a bunch of channels. But Dylan, brother, we talked to you there during during some of this race, and obviously you are feeling pretty good. You knew you had a pretty fast car. You had a great end to last season, and here you are being able to get it done, picking up the checkered flag and the $140 rolling wieners. Checkered flag here this evening, man. Take us back through this race and what's going through your mind right now as you're able to get around your newest teammate there, the 91 of Sean Jensick, to win this race at a corner number 4.
Yeah, me and Sean got a great restart on that last restart, and he was like, "You want to go low now? They're going out of turn 2," but I seen that we had help coming, so I said, "No, stay high." We got bumped past Nathan, and I said, "Take it to the bottom." We took it to the bottom, and big wreck coming to the white. Honestly, thought it was going to be a caution, and we weren't. I didn't think we took the flag, but iRacing thought otherwise, so we just raced back, and I stepped out, and I was like, me and him are going to drag race," and I just flew past him, and I don't know if it's just the side draft effect from these cars or what, but he said once I stepped out, it felt like he had a parachute. So, one driver's already complaining, trying to say that we rigged it that way, but he's on my team either way. The team would have won. It doesn't matter. Everyone would have gotten paid regardless. So, and it's whatever. But glad to start off the season hot. Especially after the way last season ended, and overall I'm ecstatic. I'm really happy.
Yeah, absolutely. A very good run and a great race here for you and Sean as you come home 1 and 2 for the Carrier Motorsports crew. Now, no points on the line, but really gives you a good sense in what you need to do next Saturday as we come back here to Daytona International Speedway for our first points race of the season. How do you guys feel? Obviously, now picking up this win, that's a lot of momentum, a lot of good things to work on here after this evening. How do you feel going into that opening race?
Feel good. Me and Sean worked well together. He and Ryan and Noah. It's me, Ryan, Rose. Me, Ryan Rose, Noah Blackwell, and Sean Jensick, and we all practiced with each other a little bit. Sean, I didn't get to practice with him at all in practice. So when we got together in the race and we worked really well together, I knew it was going to be good. Wish it could have been a 1 through 4 finish, but looked there like Ryan and Noah got caught up in some wrecks. So glad that I could keep me and Sean up there at the front. And that big wreck there to set up the green-white checkered, I thought I got some damage because I didn't make it through it clean, but apparently my car was clean, and I felt like I got hit pretty hard. So I'm just glad it was.
Yeah, glad
the car was clean because that was sketchy. That was a sketchy wreck. I had to avoid a couple of them tonight.
Yeah, you definitely got close there on a couple of them. One just barely missed your back bumper. That could have took you out in a quick hurry there when we saw Kreider just your outside get turned around there through corner 2. And then obviously a few other ones there as well. And then fuel kind of looked like it was maybe playing a factor there. We saw you down the apron before that final restart. Looked like you were trying to save fuel as much as possible in case if we went to a second or third NASCAR overtime.
Oh, I was going on fuel. Landon was trying to check to see if I had damage, and he kind of shoved me down there. I didn't choose to be down there. I got shoved down there, but yeah, just a little fun under caution. He was trying to check my damage and gave me a little bump down to the apron. And no, I had plenty of fuel. They're coming to the stage. I had 0.3 and I had to coast around the whole track. That's when I was low on fuel, but overall good race, solid. I think for a new season, this is a good group of guys we got.
Absolutely, yeah. Good field of cars, a lot of great competition. It's going to be a very, very fun season, and you're off to a hot start here in this one, brother, as a heck of a run, heck of a drive here in this one as Dylan, congrats on the win. Congrats on the rolling wieners, $140 paint day here this evening. Don't forget, 20% of that goes back to the broadcaster. I'm just kidding. I'm messing with you. As Dylan, a heck of a run, heck of a drive, man. Hopefully we see you back up here in the broadcast booth multiple times in victory lane throughout this season.
Yes, sir.
Beauty, enjoy the rest of your night.
I will. Thank you.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for Dylan Carrier's Carrier. Picks up the checkered flag here this evening, parking the 88 right up and into victory lane as we'll get ready now to pull in our second place finisher, the 91 rider, Sean Jensick. Jensick coming home here in position number 3, and now we do have some other things. It looked like Cody Cash came home in third, but I'm not sure why Anna Burbage is in there. Nonetheless, we'll go through that and figure out what's going on there, but we'll get ready to pull in Sean Jensick. Jensick coming home here in position number 2. Let's get him up here into the booth. Hey, Sean, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. You get a copy?
I got you.
Sean, man, hell of a run, hell of a drive. We talked to you there throughout that race. You looked just trying to get a good run and a good drive in here this evening, and you were able to get it pretty much done. And coming up just, a couple 100 meters shy of victory lane yourself here this evening, but obviously seeing your new teammate there, Dylan Carrier, right in front of you, being able to take that win. I see if you're going to lose anyone, at least it was a teammate here this evening. But take us back through those final restarts and what was kind of going through your mind there at the front of the field.
Oh man, I was just trying to stay in the front there and stay on the bottom. I know that top was faster than the bottom was, but I didn't want to get shuffled out or worry about worry. Oh Jesus, I can't speak right now. I didn't want to have to worry about running back to the front or anything. So I know if I lost a couple spots, I'd still at least be towards the front. Never really happened. I know there was that big wreck right in front of me. I got a little bit of damage. I honestly have no idea how I just got that little bit. But I knew at that point I wasn't going into the pits. I was staying out the whole time. And it worked out